Welcome to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast, where we provide constant improvement to businesses through timely, actionable financial solutions. Do you want answers to your financial questions? Email us at bsp@kaizencpas.com. I'm your host, Mark Valesky. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Kaizen Time. I'm joined by Eric Jorn, a partner here at the firm. Eric, how you been, man?
I'm doing better, doing a little better every day.
I feel like you're leading me into something.
I might be.
Well, actually, today's episode, we're going to go a little bit off the tracks. What does Kaizen mean or Kaizen Time mean?
Yeah, right? We've never talked about, what is the word Kaizen? Who's Mr. Kaizen? It's a question we've gotten before. Well, CPA firms normally have, the owner, the partner's name.
For someone to speak to Mr. Kaizen?
Talk to Mr. Kaizen, absolutely. We've gotten Mr. Kaizen, Mr. Kaiser. So there's a lot of ambiguity around what the name means, but it actually delivers a very, very intelligent message. And we actually...
But before we get into this intelligent message, I have a very unintelligent question for you. What do you do with these people when they ask for Mr. Kaizen?
I have a guy that I can transfer them to that'll, no, I'm just kidding. No, we do have to go into an explanation of, there is no Mr. Kaizen. I'm sorry. He's long passed. I'm just kidding. We're having fun with this one. This one's going to be a little bit more fun.
I did think for a second you would put them on hold and you come back and you just have a different voice. Like, hello, I am... Anyway, getting on track.
Yeah.
What is Kaizen?
So Kaizen is actually a combination of two Japanese words. The first being Kai and the second being Zen. And in direct translation, it means change better.
Okay.
So it's most frequently translated into maybe a term called continuous improvement that we normally use here on a regular recurring basis. So when I became a partner back in 2021, we were also looking to rebrand from James Hamlin and Company into less of a traditional accounting firm name and more of just a regular stated name, largely reflect who we were evolving to as a firm, from less of a traditional old school public accounting firm into more of a modern technology first, hyper communicative, proactive advisory based accounting firm.
Well, and you bring up a great point because, there are plenty of accounting firms out there and a lot of them just are a name and they do have that kind of old school vibe. And that is kind of part of the whole branding, right?
Correct.
That is very much corporate branding and how it works, as opposed to, like these newer companies that are a name and then they just misspell it. That's just like instead of crumbled, it's crumbler and there's no E.
Yeah, and I think we're looking at like a tax automation software called File, and I believe they use a Y instead, or even our portal systems count with a Q.
Yep, that's exactly it.
So that's those tech companies.
But I kind of see what you mean. Instead of having a name that it'd be attached to, and a person who doesn't exist, as we've fully documented now, it is a name, and this name means something.
Yeah. So when Clay and I were, spitballing names or how do we do this, we actually surveyed the staff. We came up with a completely different name, but turned out that there was a lot more competition that utilized that same exact name, and especially even inside of our space. Okay. So we went through this huge event to try to bring everybody together to participate. Which I thought was a great exercise. Unfortunately, the one we chose that we liked the best just happened to not work. But Clay likes Japanese culture, a lot of Eastern influences. I came from a background working at a Toyota dealer, and spent a lot of time doing corporate training, corporate development. And one of their key terms that Toyota has used and really harnessed throughout their existence is the term Kaizen. Mm-hmm. Inside their manufacturing process. So if you are if you study project management, you're Six Sigma certified or anything like that, you've probably heard of Kaizen, or if you ever worked for Toyota or are heavily involved with Toyota as a brand, Kaizen was a super foundational word for that. So I just threw that name out there, and we both loved it. And especially because the meaning continuous improvement really resonated with who we thought we were as a firm. We were so focused on how do we better educate ourselves. We attack CPE, continuing professional education, pretty intensely. Our requirements are above what it takes just to maintain your CPA licensure, which is already pretty significant. I think you have to have at least 40 hours of CPE every year to maintain your CPE license. That's a week straight of just training. We do 2 full-day training offsites and 2 full-day tax courses. And those are just fixed training sessions every year. So you're already at 32 hours right there. Does not include any other type of ad hoc trainings. We do a weekly lunch and learn that runs from Memorial Day through Labor Day. That's several. I mean, I'm a terrible accountant. Apparently, I can't do the math in my head of how many weeks that is.
2 weeks in the end.
I think we're breaking plenty. We're shooting way past that, and that's not even including education around any type of particulars. Right? We just had a new tax bill come out, and that's going to require some specialized CPE just for us to digest that. Listening to some experts whose job it is to decipher mess of written tax bills.
Yep.
And later this month, I'll be attending maybe I shouldn't say that because the episode might not be out by then. Yep. But even investing in some leadership training within the automotive space in particular, with commanding our niche in that space. So it's, our willingness to train, learn, and grow. It never stops. It's tireless, and that's where we really felt that continuous improvement term made a heck of a lot of a sense for us.
Okay. And did you guys poll any clients too? Did you guys ask any of them? Been like, what do you guys think?
Well, yeah, they all came back and they said, "Who's Mr. Kaizen?"
I should have seen that coming.
We did not do a like a client-based outreach of like polls of what names we like to build up. And we kind of made it suspenseful prior to the release of the name, but we weren't. We did not go out to the client base. That would have been a interesting experiment. Or what do they call that when you get a bunch of people in the room and
A/B testing kind of stuff.
Yeah,
there's
like the peer. It's a group, not peer group, but you bring a bunch of people in the room and you get their opinion on it.
Oh yeah, but they're just pulling them aside.
Yeah, who cares?
It's not important because I have some very serious questions for you. What is the immediate response from people when you did change the name? I'm sure you got a lot of emails.
The first was probably a million questions of, did you guys sell? And we did not sell the firm. We just rebranded the firm. And actually to this day, we'll still get a comment maybe from an old time client that said, back when you guys were this before you sold off. And it is a challenge with changing your name, right? Yep. That is, no matter what you do and how well you communicate it, people, it is hard to change long-term memories.
Yep. Because I'm sure when you guys rolled out, you probably even first thing was, we did not.
We should have put that as the banner, not the, hey, here's our new name, but we did not sell in small text underneath, here's our new name.
And then the last thing I kind of want to wrap up is, what's your favorite pronunciation of it?
Oh, this is funny. There's so many good ones. So we'll get Kaiser a lot of times. Like I like when people are really into it and they say Kaizen.
Oh, like they have a little Japanese accent to it,
and like they say it with a lot of energy. Instead of like we tried to keep it very calm, like Kaizen. But some people will.
They're all in.
They're all in, and Kaizen. and that's kind of fun. There is a bunch of really funny ones. Well, how would you like to hear it pronounced?
So I'll just tell you this: when I interviewed originally, it wasn't, you weren't there. I was talking to one of your employees, and I said, "So Kaizen
is one I hear all the time."
So I got set straight, and then I wrote it down, and I never made the mistake again.
Yeah.
So there.
Yeah.
Kaizen
would be KZEN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, K-ZEN. I don't get where you missed the whole Kai part.
Dude, I was processing some paperwork. There was a gal, her name was Jada, and I was like, "How do you pronounce this?" And they're like, "Jada." I was like, "That's Jada."
Jada.
The letters make Jada. There's nothing to make the J sound.
Jada like Jadakiss.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right. So as we kind of wrap this up, what's kind of the best part about being Kaizen now?
Nothing is better when it resonates with somebody else where that term also greatly influenced or affected who they are and where they're at today. And me personally, I feel like my time when I did spend that at Toyota and that term really resonated well with me. It has definitely influenced who I am. There's always a better way to do it. There's a more efficient way. And one thing I really like that, and now I'm taking this on a little tangent, we were trying to wrap up. I love this story. So whether it's true or not, who knows, but it's a good anecdote. So supposedly there was a forklift driver at one of the plants, one of the Toyota plants, and he went to his manager and he said, "Hey, we waste so much money looking for our gloves, because every time I get off the forklift, I have to put my gloves on to go handle material. I get back on the forklift, and I take them off, and sometimes I put them in this cubby. I put them in the the seat next to me. They fall on the floor, whatever it may be." So what he actually did is he went and sewed little magnets inside of his gloves, and they could just go right there on the
forklift,
on the forklift, and they put a little red X on. He put a little red X on the forklift, so he always had that same exact spot. Mm-hmm. He went and brought that up, and they take those suggestions from the ground floor, because at the end of the day, if I'm sitting up in the office trying to dictate process for people who are every day on the ground floor, or at the very least ignoring their input. Mm-hmm. That's not the power. The power of Kaizen is empowering those people who are executing on the day-to-day to really to influence them, to drive the change, to drive the process, to drive the evolution. And it's your job as a leader to lead that as well.
And to listen, right?
Exactly.
Because the business leader, their job, if there's anything I've learned from doing all these podcasts, is to listen.
Yeah. It's not to be attention. Right. It's to listen to the right people.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Mark.
You've been listening to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast has been brought to you by Kaizen CPAs Plus Advisors, providing advisory and accounting services to help you grow your business. Learn more at kaizencpas.com or email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com.